Friday, everyone. We have made it. We're going to push through this day and enjoy the weekend. If you haven't already been enjoying the weekend the past 3 weeks. So, I'm Doey Noe.
I'm Pex, and we're bringing it to you not so live in our studios that we call offices because, again, we're social distancing, we're using Zoom, and we are not making a difference. So today we're going to start off because we the best podcast. We're dropping some bangers for you. Today. Why am I yelling? First banger. I was trying to think of it during our day drinking episode. Cascada, Every Time We Touch. That is the banger I was thinking of. I just want to let you folks know it's still a banger to this day. Early 2000s bang show. I don't think that means what I think it means.
Oh, I liked it. I was about to follow up with another bang show.
Oh, what's another bang show?
I don't know. Wait,
and then
did you say bang? Oh, bang show?
No,
what did you say?
I said bang show. I don't know what I was thinking of.
I thought that was another language for banger, and I was, like I said, gonna fall. Not bank show.
Yeah,
bang show.
Bang show. It's all one word.
Another bang show. Freaky Friday.
Friday. It's a banger. It's a bang show. We can't use bang show. It's not catchy. We can't use it.
Bangers. It's a heater. You know what I'm saying? It's a heater.
I like heater, skeeter, banger. You know, I like that. Yeah. So there's a couple bangers for you to listen to. If you haven't listened to them already, we're gonna start off. We're gonna do a shout out to the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. They're giving out $500 grants to folks in the service industry. Their website's down for so much traffic right now. We're gonna leave a description below. But donate if you can. This is something that the community is putting together around the United States. They got a whole bunch of sponsors, but every little bit helps. And if you need it, go try to get that grant. I just want to give them a shout out real quick. They're doing some good.
Hell yeah, man! That's super cool. Caleb just let me know about it today. I think that's great. Definitely, it doesn't hurt to apply. So definitely take advantage of these resources that are out there and trying to help us out in the service industry. Before we jump on into today's very hot topic, what have you been doing, man? What's in the life of quarantine? What have you been doing?
Not a lot. I mean, I cleaned the apartment. I've been doing a lot of cooking. Tina made brownies yesterday. This is the first batch of brownies that she's made that haven't been burnt and cookies and terrible. So she made a good batch of brownies. She made a great batch of brownies.
Nuts?
No nuts. I don't like nuts. I hate nuts. No nuts in my brownie.
Okay.
What else? I ran out of figurines to paint. But I put together most of my painting studio. Got these cool shelves to put together. Other than that, COD. We're ending season 2 on COD right now. Ozark, finished that. Banger. I literally gasped on the last episode. It was awesome. So if you haven't watched Ozark, watch that. And then just trying to be a good boyfriend to Tina. She deserves it. This is kind of a good time for her because she gets to see me. Work in the service industry, we work long hours, we work at night. She gets to actually fall asleep with me in the bed. So that's nice. I get to hang out with the old Tina and my cats. I think they're fed. They're around here somewhere. They judge me. They judge me a lot for being home. I think one of them called me a couch potato yesterday. Asshole. Cats are assholes.
Cats are. They're. You're just cat people if you're cat people. You know what I'm saying? That's just
right.
But
they're so cute though.
They're cool.
Cute.
And they are cool. I always said if I'm gonna get a cat, I'm gonna get like a 30-pound, 1.5-foot cat.
Carol Baskin will come after you.
He'll come after me?
You don't know who Carol? Dude, you need to watch Tiger King.
Yeah.
The rest of the world watch Tiger King.
I know. I need to get after it. I might do it. Yeah, you're right. I heard that guy's from Kansas.
Is he? I believe it.
Is he? That's what I heard.
I don't know. Maybe he looks like he's from Kansas.
Ozark is making fun of Missouri hillbillies, right?
Sort of. So it's about it's mostly making fun of people in the Ozarks.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. Yeah, because they're actually hillbillies, but they kind of make the whole state to look like hillbillies. So
like like people.
Like people, they're hillbillies. What about you? What you been doing, Noah? I am salty. I love that show. I'm salty about it.
What have I been doing? I have been put to work. I fortunately get to be the best dadgum stay-at-home dad ever, which I thoroughly enjoy. But we're doing a lot of work in our backyard. Get to carry things, dig holes, rake clumps of dirt. Needless to say, getting that workout in every single day, which is
hell yeah.
Very important. Yesterday, I took an ice chest. I filled it up with rocks, and I proceeded to pick it up and put it down over and over again. So we're getting it done here at the K household. That's it, man. Playing some COD. Picked up my my fourth W in BR and Battle Royale, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Nice.
Nothing to compare to the 280 wins people who are actually good have.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. They have too much time. I hate to like BJ to like do what you want to do at this time, but try to be at least a little productive, just a little productive.
You got to.
Unless you're like streaming, making money on it. I guess that's something, and that's your job. But
for sure.
If you enjoy it, do it. But like, try to be a little productive in some way.
Other than that, I may have broke my wrist. Okay. All right, guys. So today's episode is on doing drugs on your own time.
Not at work. Not drugs before work. Maybe after work if you really need to, but don't do drugs before work or at work.
Yes. And this is any drug. Any drug that may come into existence. Any drug. No drugs.
And all of them, including alcohol, not limited to alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, even Molly, ecstasy, highballs, lowballs, cocaine, angel dust, heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine, all of it.
Yeah, he hit basically all uppers, downers, inners, outers, you name it.
Yeah,
nothing. We don't want to see it. We don't want to smell it, and we want to dive into this and tell you why we're talking about. One, we don't judge. But when it affects us, then I have to be your daddy. I always tell people this. Don't make me be your daddy. I don't want to be your daddy. I want to manage you. Don't make me be an asshole. And these are the people who blatantly disregard any lack of respect to do so. So we're going to dive in. Why don't you bring up first and foremost why we should not do drugs on the company's clock?
Don't do drugs on the company's clock. First of all, it's unprofessional. It's a blatant show of disrespect towards the company you work for. You know, this company, whether it be service or otherwise, they pay you to be your best. They expect you to be your best. I know when I see employees coming in, I expect them to be their best. And you look like shit and you stink most of the time, especially if you're trying to drink beforehand. It's just, oh God, like I don't even know. Just don't. There's so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start.
You can start by stopping. That's the first and foremost. Stop doing it. And if you are that now 2020, we're now into the vape game where it stinks less, but if you know, and it's still, you look like shit. Yeah. So.
And you still look like shit. You're not coming in showered. Like this is kind of like a gateway. Like you start one thing, you gateway, your appearance goes downhill. You start vaping at work. And just because you vape at work doesn't mean we don't know. We don't know. Also, don't do that.
You chase the rabbit, and then all of a sudden your dentures are falling out on a table. So please.
My favorite are the everyone that says, it makes me a better server if I like come to work a little stoned or a little drunk. No, it doesn't. We all know, your guests know, the customers know, your patients know, your appointments, everyone knows. And you know what? By saying that, it makes you an addict. That makes you an addict. And just because you think you're high functioning doesn't mean you're high functioning. It's not good.
You're high functioning.
It doesn't. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true.
So the first step would be admittance, everyone.
Admit you have a problem.
Yes, it is a very apparent. So we'll just put it out there. You suck. You stink. You're not hiding, fooling. Nobody. Never. Nobody. Ever.
And we notice. We know. And I feel like it's become just okay in the service industry. And you know what? I think we need to put a stop to this right now, Noe. We need to put a stop to this right now.
Well, you see, my first advice, if you catch them in the act, just fire them.
Oh, yeah. Just fire them. Like, you don't need that in your establishment. If you find people, if they're especially doing it on the company grounds, fire them. You know, you can, I hate to say it, people are replaceable. I'm replaceable. Noah's replaceable. We're all replaceable. And we need to realize that is we can be replaced. So getting in that not stigma, but you know, that mindset of we can do better, makes it a little bit easier. Is you start cutting the fat. If you know that people are coming to work drunk, you know, see it, say it, document it, get in front of it, but don't let it happen. Once you start letting it happen, it starts to slip away. It just starts to slip away.
For sure. Absolutely. You know, I think, like you said, see it, say it, document it. It's completely unprofessional. Like you said, man, just trim the fat. You know who it is. It's a revolving door. Keep them coming in. Keep them coming in so you can push out.
And it's going to up the professionalism of your establishment. Once you set that standard, it's going to just help everything else. You know, people are, I don't know, not necessarily be afraid to do drugs before work, but like a certain kind of person is going to be doing these things. A certain kind of person is going to be drinking before work, getting blackout drunk after work, showing up late because they're hungover. You know, it's that trickle effect, that snowball. So if you start cutting it, you're going to up their professionalism. You're going to get those people in there you want because A, you just fired everybody. So you need to start hiring a hell of a lot of people. And B, you're keeping the people that you want to be there, the people you want to represent your business, you know?
Absolutely. So definitely see it, say it, get that evil, that poison away from your other staff because it is very contagious.
Oh, absolutely.
Very contagious.
Absolutely.
So I would like to follow up this topic with a personal story of a gentleman named Cody who was a pretty hard worker. He was a little older for the job he was doing, I guess, compared to, you know, where he was. But he did a good job. He came and worked hard. Cody missed a meeting that we had, so I gave him a printout of what the notes we went over. Cody didn't like this. And all. And it ties into doing drugs on the premises. Because he loved
cigarettes, vaping, all that stuff. You know, the small stuff. It wasn't even like big stuff. It was like smoking and vapes, right?
Right. And but he came in and he looked like shit. You know, he looked like shit. And anyway, I gave him these notes, and he got very, very upset. Sent me a long text saying that he was not, wouldn't be coming in. He felt blatant disrespect. I asked him to come in and sit down with me and a fellow manager, as you do protocol. And he said no, he would take this as his resignation. Great. Cool. I thought that was it. He's gone. Great. We'll fill the hole. Not a big deal. Dude comes back mid-shift that night, about 8 p.m. I'm inside our uniform closet getting a uniform for another employee, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I kind of sense the energy in the air. You know, like I feel it, boom, I see Chris, and I'm like, oh, what's up? I'm thinking to myself, I'm in a corner right now. I see this dude and his whoever else he brought with him. So we get out. I'm like, what's going on, man? And he's talking about the money with tips that he hasn't received, blah, blah, running down. And I look at him and you can definitely tell he is on some pretty evil stuff. He was definitely either very intoxicated or, what have you. So we make our way through the hall to the event kitchen, and things erupt. He starts throwing slang terms and derogatory slang at what have you, running around acting like he has a gun. And I'm just sitting there, and this all spills over in the matter of 30 seconds. And these are the telltale signs, the red flags that through my mistakes and failures, I will never let happen again, because this is someone that I did not hire necessarily, this Cody, as Caleb bows his head in shame.
Yep, that was me, guys. That was me.
But this man was a telltale sign. He always came in looking like he had been using he stunk, and these are just red flags. Anyway, this man, funniest part of it, Cody ran down the stairs and got up in the face of an ex-manager, and I'm pretty sure that manager peed a little.
Oh, he definitely did. He definitely peed a little.
He got white. It was the funniest. It was a very, very crazy, funny experience. Anyways, know the red flags.
Know the red flags. Learn from our mistakes. Basically, a lot of the podcast now is us reminiscing on all of our mistakes and like seeing the warning signs, but not doing anything about it. And
sure. I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's easy to. It's not easy, especially you're a young manager in your young career. I've been in the actually managing, in this industry for a couple of years. It's tough, especially you're working right alongside people of the same age group as you. You have people who react differently to different, how you manage them, and it's not a one all fits all with these people. So
it's not.
And people like that, those are the people where if you, to me, in my eyes, Cody, you say the wrong thing, those are people who fly off the handle and end up doing something.
And he already had flown off the handle, and we didn't really do anything about it. It was like a little bat on the hand. Like he went off on some kid because he said your mom a joke. And again, we should have known then that we need to get rid of this person. We did not need this person in our establishment. And these are just like some warning signs, like obviously he was drinking. We like said something a couple times, but nothing happened. So we needed to, lay the hammer down. This is our livelihood, our business. And if you're listening to this, this is also going to be your business, your livelihood. See the warning signs, nip it in the bud, cut ties. You got to cut ties. You got to cut them. You got to
have the hard conversations,
do the next best thing for yourself. You got to have the hard conversations. You're right. And this whole thing's going to be a hard conversation for everybody, If you see it, like, one time that they come in late because they say they're sick, it's probably because they're hungover. 80% of the time when someone says they're sick in the morning, it's because they're hungover. And do you really need that in your business? Do you need that? Do you want them representing you? They may be a fantastic employee. They may be great with the guests, but I know if you have one bad, there's a saying, the quickest way to destroy a great employee is to ignore a shitty one, because they just see that and then they just get brought down. That level of expectation, because you're complacent with it, you're letting it happen. It lets them just think they can do whatever they want, which is why it's a cycle. Which is why you gotta cut it out now. You gotta cut it out like the day you get back, or even now, after we get done with this whole COVID-19 thing. Reevaluate your situation. Who is actually valuable to you? Who is loyal? Who does what they need to do? Who shows up on time? Who wants to do the next best thing? and who's just a drunk alcoholic that's just skating by. You know, if you're not improving, you're what's the opposite of improve?
I mean, you're declining if you're, you know,
yeah, declining, whatever. Yeah. So that's I mean, that's kind of my thought is you gotta cut it out fast.
No doubt. No doubt. A lot of learning along the way. It's tough. Like I said, tough. If you like firing people, you have a problem, and you should not be in, you know, you're fucked. You're just,
right.
You're, if you enjoy that and get off on that, then you probably were bullied as a kid and finally got that sense of power and really, really held on to it so you can maintain your 40 a year job and have fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not saying just go fire everybody, but no, if you can, you know, have that hard conversation, you can get someone turned around. I know we have a couple employees, you know, that they weren't the best. You know, they did have the late night parties, but you know, we set them down like, hey, here's my expectations for you. If you want to do more in this company, here's what you need to do. And it starts with, you know, stop partying all night, blowing all your money on alcohol, and then coming in smelling like Fireball the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And a work in progress. But yeah, you're right. Hard conversations do, sometimes they turn it around. Sometimes they affect the person positively that they can see it. You know, it's not everyone is going to care as much as you care in general. And that's a tough pill to swallow.
And it's hard to find. You know, you can't teach caring, you can't teach hard work, but you know, you can try to push your morals, your values on everyone, because you know, if you're in it to make the money, that's step one. But you got to have people behind you that are worth it.
For sure, absolutely. So, little Q&A. Couple questions that you were just thinking. Some on topic, some very off topic.
It's okay. All the questions they come in, we'll answer them. We'll answer all the questions. So this first question, it's about the COVID-19. It kind of touches base on what we did for our last episode with JG. And so, why are some businesses closing for good while some still want to do carry out? Like I said, we kind of touched on it in the last episode, but honestly, I think it just comes down to money. It really, I think it comes down to money. What is sustainable? And who's popular? You know, if you know that you can get away with it, and not like get away with it, but you know, like if you have the resources and you can figure out how to pay your staff and still make money doing carry out, I think that's the people that are doing it right now. But some places, they just decided because they're either too big or it's not cost effective, or they just don't have it set up. I know some places you can do it online, but not everyone has that set up already. So
right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's just sustainability, and there's got to be some kind of, you know, tax. I don't know. I feel like there has to be something to do with, because I remember JG said he would have rather than just said everyone's closed down versus trying to sit there and wager on, is the business going to sustain right now versus, you know, and then you can go in the red versus them just shutting the doors and everyone, right. You know, what are you going to do? Everyone is doing the same thing. So, I don't know, sustainability, I think what kind of food your establishment is putting out, and its shelf life really, so you're not damaging your quality of your establishment is a big thing.
And people are still trying to save face. If the ones that are doing it and they're doing it well, I know like Jack Stack, they've got a whole line that I just know them because they're down the street from me. They've always got a line. They're ready to go. They're just dropping orders. They're going crazy. But they've already had that infrastructure set up. They have that carryout order. They've had that for forever, to where you can plan the time you want to get your food and everything. So for them, it's sustainable. So sustainability, that's what I'm thinking. Just who is sustainable, who can do it, and who can't.
To me, I think Jack Stacks would probably do with the amount of following they have. They could, gosh, it seems like they'd almost make, besides their alcohol sales, which I'm sure they make a lot.
Oh no, they're doing alcohol too. They're doing drive up alcohol. They're doing beer and wine.
They could definitely. I feel like they're probably making, I would think, just as much money. They got to be saving on front of house labor with all of bar, essay. You got kitchen staff. I'm curious to see see the margins there for sure.
Right. And I'm curious to see how many people just start doing curbside carry out and all that and just make that exclusive. So that might be the next trend after all this is everyone just goes curbside.
I mean, if you can sustain, seems like catering is basically just small catering.
Oh yeah.
Small catering
maybe catering just goes through the roof after this.
Right.
Because
I think people will still be a little weary to go out right away. I mean, I know I'll be still pretty conscious of it whenever I'm back on the grind. So
yeah,
we'll see. I know a lot. You'll obviously have a big influx of people going from 0 to however many people want to come out. Right.
It's real quick. I like it. Yeah, I mean that's our thoughts. Next question. What was our first date? I don't remember my first date because I was like 15. I remember my one with Tina. That was great. Do you remember your first date?
My very first date. Nope. I'm sure I did something cheesy for like my kindergarten girlfriend or some. They're like,
I forgot about my kindergarten girlfriend.
Oh no, I remember it. It's actually first grade. Oh yeah, because this little girl, first grade, showed me her butt. It was wild. I still remember it. Crazy. Showed me her butt, man. I was like, wow, man. But it's got to get better than this. I'm first grade.
That's funny.
Second grade. I learned to cuss. Wasn't good.
Nice. I remember my first date with Tina. It was to a Mexican joint. I had been trying forever to get her to go on a date with me, but she wouldn't. She just refused to go on a date with me until I basically beat her into submission. That's what I did. I was like, you're going on this date with me. I want to pick you up. We're going to go on this date. It's going to happen.
Figuratively. He figuratively beat her into submission, people.
Oh, yeah. That was a metaphor. It was a metaphor. So I didn't actually beat Tina. But that's kind of like, I just kept hitting her up. I'm like, come on, let's go get coffee. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. And then eventually we went to a Mexican joint and it was nice. And I had the cherry pollo. For anyone that hasn't had cherry pollo, it's fantastic. It's a chorizo and chicken and queso, and you put it on a tortilla and it's delicious. Cherry pollo, it's the shit.
Cherry pollo.
Cherry.
Like I was chorizo. Like, why are they calling it cherry?
No, cherry. It's great.
Cherry pollo. So cherry pollo. That makes
all right. And our last question. Have your parents ever caught you doing the dirty? How about you?
No, you go first.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. Yes, this was high school. I was my door was closed, by the way. Just saying, my door was closed, and my father walks in, and then he leaves. So I'm like, oh God, I'm in so much trouble right now. I'm in so much trouble. So she leaves. I'm freaking out. I'm waiting for my dad. Like, he literally leaves the house. Like, he's gone. He leaves the house.
Damn.
And so I'm sitting there. I'm like, what the? Oh my God. It's just so awkward. She felt awkward. He comes back, brings me a Big Mac. I guess he wanted to know what my order was. He should have known already. So he brings me a Big Mac. And then he hands to me. He's like, good to know at least one of my kids aren't gay. So that's what happened. So it's all right. I mean, not that he cares. Like, one of my brothers are gay, but it was just funny the way he didn't make me feel awkward. He didn't make me feel awkward. So that was nice.
Yeah, that's fortunate. Your father caught you. I think is a big game changer there in the difference between mine and yours story. I did get caught by a parent. I wasn't doing, quote, the dirty, but it may have appeared so. I had a nice little spot. It was in my room, but like I was up on the second story, kind of away. Don't know how I didn't hear the footsteps up the stairs. But basically pretty short and sweet. Door opens, it's really dark. My mom says, someone better get the fuck out of here. And close the fucking door. She left shortly after. I walked her out because I'm a gentleman.
Oh, good.
And I think my mom knew and struck enough fear right there that she didn't say anything else about it. I'm sure she Maybe she did, but I just remember that very, very scary 7 words she threw out, and that was all that was necessary. Yeah, that was super uncomfortable. Still made my heart race telling that story.
That's fair. Mine, I'm glad it ended the way it did. He kind of used humor. He's like, yeah, well, you're doing it. Okay. Yeah, I know, but yeah, there you go. So it wasn't the end of the world, which was nice, you know. So yeah, there's that. There's that.
I'm just glad I didn't hear a shotgun go off after she said it.
Oh, that would have been crazy. That would have been absolutely crazy. So let's get to the tip of the week. We didn't do it last time because we had so much content. But mine, I feel like mine usually ties into what we're talking about, and it's act like you want to be here. Dress for the position you want, not the profession you have. That really goes into, you know, act like you want to do the next thing. If you want to be a server, act like you want to be a bartender. Do everything it takes to be a bartender. If you want to be a manager, figure out what it takes to be a manager. Dress like one, act like one, be clean cut, ready to go. And that's any profession, you know, not just service industry. I try to hit kind of broad, but you know, everything you do, you should be aspiring to do the next thing. Otherwise, you're stagnating. You're not improving. You're going to be stuck in the position you have, and you don't want to do that. You want to always be improving. You want to be making more money. You want to be learning more. So yeah, dress for the position you want. That's all I got.
Preach, brother. Preach. Take notes. Mine is, if you are a server, just, you know, getting by, making money while you're in school, fantastic. If you want to make it a career, great. Either way, you never know who you're taking care of. You don't know who is sitting down, who you're taking care of. Simply, you can make a lot of connections. I have a couple cool little tidbits with that. I was able to serve the Robin off of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't even know. One of my very lovely friends, Kate, was like, ran up to me, and if you know this girl, she says, Noah, that throws the F word down. We're in the pretty close to people. She's like, that's Rob. And she said her real name. That's Robin off of How I Met Your Mother. And I was like, no shit.
What is her name? It's because I've met her too. She's a cool lady.
Dude, she was super cool. They were the family. Tip great, of course. We ended up being able to take pictures of her as a little fanboy, but it was super cool.
Kobe Smulders, that's her name.
What is it?
Kobe Smulders. I don't know.
That's right, Kobe. I knew it was pretty. It's an interesting name for a female. That's awesome. But you never know who you're going to take care of. You really don't know the connections you can make. I've had many opportunities to kind of move up within the industry just by simply taking great care of the people in front of me. So that's my server tip of the week.
I like it. You know, you can find us on all of your favorite podcasting apps. Subscribe on whichever one you use so you know when we drop. Email us at lifeinsidecast@gmail.com. All the questions, answers, if you want to shoot us a line, let us know that you love us. And then you can find all of our links at lifeontheinside.buzzsprout.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Friday, everyone. Please stay safe. We appreciate all the love and support out there, and we'll be putting them out for you.
Well, until next time, I'm Pex.
Noe.